This video is brought to you with Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. Skillshare classes include a combination of video lessons and class projects. Skillshare has classes to fit your schedule and your skill level. Members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from a community of millions. And if you're busy like me, most classes are under 60 minutes, which suits busy people. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable for less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. No matter what 2021 brings, you can spend it creating something meaningful with Skillshare's online classes, because time is what we make of it. And in fact, my girlfriend and I are actually using a Skillshare class at the moment. As I mentioned in my last video, myself and her are setting up a new business, and we're actually using a class called DIY Product Photography with Daniel Inskeep and Rachel Galotta. You'll see that on the screen right now. That's actually a class we've been paying attention to because we're starting a new business and we need to know how to photograph the products. So the bit you've all been waiting for, the first 1,000 people to hit the link below, that's in the pinned comment and also in the description. The first 1,000 people to hit that will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So go and hit it. Once the 1,000 clicks are gone, that is it. So go ahead, get joining Skillshare, enjoy, and as always, keep me posted with what you're up to. For now, let's get on with the video and some rather controversial news about my Turbo S. Let's go. Welcome back to TGTV, more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my 992 Turbo S. We're going to go for a little drive today. I'm going to have a little discussion with you all, update you on the garage, the state of affairs, what's going, what's coming, and how I really feel about this thing a little while on. I have been having some rather dark thoughts about the 992 Turbo S recently. I want to share them all with you because it may culminate in doing something fairly unpopular with a lot of you. So we're going to have a little discussion, and I know I'm getting abuse already in the comments. We're going to have a little discussion. We're going to go for a little drive. I'm also going to update you on what else is going on in the garage. Here she is then, the 992. I've had this car since about, steady on there, boy. I've had this car since about June 2020. I've enjoyed it. I've done about 1,200 miles or so on it. I've done mod ball in it. And that's pretty much it. I've just driven around in it and done all sorts of bits and bobs. Obviously it only went one way to mod ball and then got trucked back. I flew home. Cosmetically then, you'll know I did the reflector tints there. I tinted the windows. I did the 70th anniversary badge on the back there. I haven't got around to the exhaust still yet. And that is pretty much all I've done cosmetically to the car. I obviously put PPF on it, Suntech PPF the whole way around it. But other than that, this car is still absolutely as standard. No remap, no exhaust, no horrible wrap, just OEM Plus looking fantastic. So I think what would be most wise then, we will just go for a drive. We're already open. We're gonna go for a little drive and I'm gonna explain exactly what on earth is going on in my mind at this point in time. Right then, you lots. Let's go for a little spinneroony. I'm gonna talk through all things garage updates and all the rest of it. Oh goodness me, we're gonna need lift here. Now, ownership of this car, what has it been like? There's not a huge amount to tell you other than it's been absolutely faultless, as I'm sure most of you would expect. There's been zero glitches, zero issues, nothing's caught fire, nothing's fallen apart. It's needed no trips to the dealership. It's just been perfect. It's not due a service yet. It's not due a service for ages actually. The service intervals on these things are huge. It's just been perfect. It's not even run out of battery. I don't keep this one on my C-Tech charger. I actually just keep this one in my car park, not plugged in. There are periods where it doesn't get used for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And it's just been faultless. It's been an absolutely unbelievable car. Now, we're gonna get on to something slightly controversial, something that many of you will not want to hear. And I know I get accused of churning through cars and coming in and out of them and blah, blah, blah. And some of you treat it as though, you know, I've personally insulted your family when I come out of a car a little bit sooner than you would ideally want me to. I am thinking of possibly moving this along. I've had it for a little while now and I'm just thinking, whilst the values are strong, we're in winter, and as many of you will be aware, this was a cancelled order, this car. This wasn't actually the spec that I necessarily ordered. In fact, I didn't order it. I love the spec, but it's not a car
I went through the spec sheet. I love speccing cars. I love that whole process. I love taking delivery of something you have kind of sculpted, and the same with the Pista as well. I didn't spec that car, and it's just very hard to kind of long-term bond with a car that you haven't necessarily specced, especially a brand new modern car. Older cars you can kind of be forgiven because I wasn't alive when some of the older stuff was made. So brand new car wise, so it's gonna be time, I think, probably to shift this on at some point pretty soon. So I'm gonna be open to offers on it fairly shortly. The Turbo S market, and I've spoken to my dealer about speccing one new, and he says it's gonna be late 2021 before I can even think about getting one. So I'm left in a bit of predicament. So I'm gonna order my own one, my own spec, but I'm gonna have to wait a long time for that. But at the moment, these things are trading for list price, overs. It's really strong, and I just think it's probably a sensible time just to get out of it. I'm not gonna use it much. For modboard and kind of road trip wise, I'd probably use the SLS because that's newer in the garage. I've spent quite a lot of time in this car. I know the miles aren't high, but having lived in London, you can spend hours and hours and hours in a car driving around in it and pick up about 10 miles. So I have spent a lot of time in the car, not that the mileage probably dictates that. So yes, it may well be time to get rid. Numbers. How much does this car cost me? So the car was £178,000 new. I did it on finance. I put 0 deposit down, and my monthlies were £2,400 a month. Now, if I can get out around list price, or maybe slightly above list price, I can cover the interest on this car, and the car will literally have been free. I put £10,000 down to reserve the car, and then when I collected it, they put £10,000 back on my card. I've driven around in it, paid, 6 payments of £2.5 grand a month, whatever it is. And then if I come out flat, if I come out about 180, there's a couple of grand up, that'll wipe out a lot of the interest, and I'll get all my payments back as well, or some of them. I'm sure some of you will be working it out because these things are amortized and all the rest of it. So don't get too technical with me on that. I will work it out properly. But I'm just thinking, people have got these listed up for 200k on Auto Trade, and I'm just thinking, for a car that isn't going to get that much use over the next few months, I'm just thinking might be a good idea to possibly bow out, or pick up a cancelled order in a cab until my full spec coupe arrives as well, and there'll be a spec video on that. I'm not going to go for the same spec as I originally did prior to receiving this. I've since seen some cars in the colour that I originally wanted and realised I don't actually want that colour anymore, so it's going to be a different spec. There's going to be a different spec video coming, but yes, all quite convoluted. So timeline then, this will probably go within the next month or two. Then I may try and jump it in a cancelled Turbo S cab order, maybe early spring, if possible. Fingers crossed. I think there may be one out there that I've kind of, I've got my eye on and someone said I can have. So that's kind of prodding me into possibly getting out of this. And then late 2021, maybe Q3, Q4, I'll get my own spec Turbo S landing, and I'll be able to spec aero kit on it as well. So this one may well be going. It may be that the market nosedives in 2 weeks and nobody wants these anymore, but at the moment the demand is mental. I've had so many DMs of people asking to buy this car over the past 6 months, and they are trading for stupid money. So I'm not going to try and rip anyone off. I'm not going to try and get mental cash for it. I just kind of want to come out with the car having wiped its bum, to be honest. So who knows what else is going on with my garage. The Defender is going, if not it is gone by now, so fingers crossed that is gone by the point this video goes out. Why am I getting rid of that? Just haven't used it. It's been in storage for 8 months. I just literally haven't seen it, haven't used it. And many of you will be saying, oh, but you've got a place in the countryside now, why didn't you have your Defender for that? Actually, the Vogue is just a better car for that. And I quite want a Cullinan as well, so I might get rid of the Vogue and the Defender and just chop in for a Cullinan. So we don't know at this point. I am prone to rash decisions. I am prone to a lack of foresight and forethought on things, so that I may just do stuff that makes no sense, that I don't even know that I'm going to do at this point. So it is all to play for at this point. The SLS is still in the garage. That's going nowhere. That's going to be a long-term car. I truly believe they're going to be a £200,000 car pretty soon. I paid 145 for it. So I truly believe they're going to be a 200 grand car for the nice ones over the next year or two. So do stay tuned for what happens to SLS prices. I could be completely wrong on that. I could be made to eat my words down the line, but I'm going to hold on to the SLS. And while not everything's about money, quite a lot of things are. Quite a lot of things that you and I do in daily life is all surrounding money, and I don't see why car ownership should be a huge amount different. I can enjoy cars, I can come in and out of them, and I can also do it in a sensible fashion money-wise. And also don't forget, this is my business. I'm not your average kind of car collector. This is a business as well, so there's got to be a some business sense behind my decisions as well. So I'm literally just popping in now because my SLS has been in Westfields with the guys there. But yes, that's that. That is that. So I just wanted to run some thoughts by you. Having driven this out on this fairly miserable day, I just wanted to kind of have a little chat with you all and tell you what on earth I think of the state of my garage and my long-term prospects for my 992 Turbo S. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies this was just a chit chat, but hopefully it offers some insight, and if you didn't enjoy it, then the next video might be better than this anyway. So cheers guys.